So, a first-person shooter and a dinosaur game is coming to the PS4. How nice! Okay, well, let's talk about it. But, before we get to this video, let's get to the question of the day. Alright, so stay tuned to the end of this video to find out the answer to the question of the day. Alright, so a couple of confirmed games are coming to the PlayStation 4. We have Blacklight Retribution, alright, and Primal Carnage Genesis, a dinosaur, humans versus dinosaur type of game. Okay, and I've seen footage of this. You know, they had the launch trailer. This thing's been around for a while too. Like, they had the early trailers a couple of years ago, back in early 2011. So this thing's been in development. This idea has been around for a while. You have another one, Blacklight Retribution. This game is not a new concept either. You know what I mean? It's not a brand new game. This thing's already been released for the PC, I believe. Yeah, it's a first-person shooter. You know, it doesn't look that different from any other shooters, honestly. Blacklight Retribution is developed by Zombie Studios. It's a free-to-play first-person shooter, and the first game from Sony's Pub Fund for the PS4. What's the Pub Fund? I've never even heard of that. Pub Fund? That sounds like some Kickstarter crap. Sony commits $20 million to indie developers. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's some sort of a program thing. 3-year deal aimed at bulking up PSN lineup. Okay, 20 million bucks invested into the indie developing scene. Well, they gotta do that. I mean, I understand why Sony's trying to cash in on indie developing games, because they gotta, you know what I mean? They gotta support the up-and-coming developers, this talent that has ideas, and it's a good thing. Blacklight Retribution, you know, I've seen gameplay of this thing, and it doesn't look that different, to be honest. It looks so fucking generic FPS, you know what I mean? Nothing stood out, you know what I mean? It looks like one of those futuristic type of shooters, you know, you run, you aim, I mean, the whole thing. But yeah, it's a free-to-play game though. Came out for the PC last year. And then you have Primal Carnage Genesis, which was... It's running on the Unreal Engine 4. It's described as a story-driven experience that will be released episodically. Oh god, so they're doing kind of a Walking Dead type of thing too here. Oh my goodness. I would assume that both of these games are going to be PSN titles, as opposed to, like, actual, you know, AAA blockbuster PS4 games. That's, you know, along the realms of fucking Infamous Second Son or Killzone Shadowfalls or something like that. Nah, it feels very download game, you know, PSN type. I don't know, man. I mean, comparing both of these games, I would say I'm more excited for Primal Carnage. First of all, the name sounds like Primal Rage. It's got that primal in it, and then Carnage, Primal Rage. And they both have dinosaurs and shit, so, I mean, there you go. Anything with dinosaurs has to be primal. You know, the name Primal has to be in it. Like, really original there. But yeah, taking a look at the footage they've had, the launch trailer, you know, you got the T-Rexes, and they have the Velociraptor, Deinonychus-looking, you know, raptors. They have to update these dinosaurs. Not every fucking dinosaur has to look like Jurassic Park, though. You know, this looks like very influenced by those type of dinosaurs, that early 90s, that, you know, outdated dinosaur look. Not so much the T-Rex, because the T-Rex has always been sort of the popular look of the T-Rex. We don't know what they look like, obviously. I mean, we just see the bones, or the fossilized bones. But as far as, like, the Velociraptor, yeah, most scientists now, pretty much everybody thinks that these raptors had fucking feathers. You know what I mean? I know it flipped me out too when I first found out about it, but now the artist depiction, the more accurate depiction would be that they fucking had feathers. You know, they were flightless bird-type dinosaurs. That's what that Archaeopteryx thing came from, you know what I mean? That early bird dinosaur. They all came from that, you know, the one with the hooked claw, and they could run really fast, and they're about the size of a human, maybe a lot smaller, the size of a dog, etc. Yeah, and seeing those little velociraptors here, it's like Jurassic Park, you know, that fucking gray, lizard-like skin, you know, and doesn't have any feathers on it. So, it could be a developing thing, you know, as far as they couldn't implement actual feathers, you know. Like, I don't know how much harder it would have. You'd have to put feathers on a bird, and how much like memory that would take up. But I'm sure they can do it now, especially for a PS4 game. But you know, clearly, these people are still stuck in that Jurassic Park 1993 mentality of every velociraptor has to have gray skin, and they have to look like gray lizards, and you know, fucking Komodo dragons and shit, you know, and you know, doesn't have any feathers. But you know, you got to be accurate though. You got to be accurate with your dinosaurs. I think they have to be updated. I love dinosaurs as much as anybody. I used to really like them as a kid, you know, a lot of like fucking dinosaurs in pop culture, but there's never been a lot of dinosaur games either. I was taking a look at one of the videos, and in the comment section somebody said we need more dinosaur games, and it's like, yeah, we do. You know, I count all the games that had dinosaurs in it, I could barely count them, like maybe in less than 10 games I can think of right now. Let's see, Primal Rage. Some fighting games would have like one dinosaur, you know, Killer Instinct had Riptor, you know, let's see what else. No, like Tekken had a dinosaur. You know, obviously you have the Turok Dinosaur Hunter. You got Dino Crisis, shit like that. You know, I mean those are the most obvious ones. But King Kong had a dinosaur. You know. But as far as actual dinosaur characters, you know, there's not a lot in video games. You have the Jurassic Park games. That's pretty much the extent of it. You know what I mean? Not a lot of dinosaur franchises out there. I don't know why that's the case. Maybe, I guess because there's not a lot of animal-based games to begin with. You know, people just seem to... developers don't have a lot of animal-based games. You know, you'll have the occasional one, but it'd be pretty sweet to have. It'd be cool to always like fucking battle a dinosaur. The only thing is that this thing looks so action / shoot 'em up. You know, like it's no different than playing a game that has a giant monster creature in it that you have to destroy. You know, or you know, really fast running monsters that would substitute as dinosaurs. Like, it doesn't matter. I would love to play a game where you had to actually hunt it and you had to outmaneuver it, and like the way it would behave would be so realistic and not just this fucking relentless killing machine that just goes fucking apeshit and just goes crazy and just tries to kill you and eat you, you know. I would love to have actual unique segments, like if you're running away from a T-Rex, have like a car chase scene. Like, I would, as a kid, I always loved that chase scene in the first Jurassic Park where it was running after that vehicle, that Jeep, and that fucking chase scene was just brilliant, you know. I would have loved to have experienced that in a game fucking experience, like in a gameplay mode. Imagine a fucking Jurassic Park game where you actually hopped on the fucking vehicle, it's chasing after you, and then you have a fucking gun and you're shooting at the fucking dinosaur. Like, that would have been awesome, but I don't know. They've never had anything like that. So, and this one just looks straight up action. You're just killing dinosaurs. You're shooting that. You can play as either humans or dinos. And obviously for the dinos, you fucking kill the humans. It just seems really generic. Alright, so this was the answer to the question of the day.